Hello, hello.
Hello, can we try talking?
Hi, yeah, I can hear you. Mr. Muku, I
Say something
think
so we can hear you. I'm not hearing you.
Yes,
okay, yeah, we can hear you.
me.
Okay. Okay, right now it's 2:50, so it starts at 3, so I think we're gonna wait a while first. Also, Hanlin has yet to join. Okay, wait, Hanlin has joined.
Why don't you let Muku start share? Muku, why don't you try and share screen?
Can you tell me how to do it? Um, more.
Muku, if you look at your Zoom, the the bar at the bottom, there's a share screen button.
Because I using my phone, handphone. Easy handphone can.
Oh,
Oh, then cannot.
yeah,
Why
handphone
don't you
cannot.
share screen? Han Ling, do you have the slides? I mean, Marcus, do you have the slide?
I have the slides, yeah.
Are you share now? Then it's easier. Muku, you just say next, next. Later you want to share, you just share. Because I cannot get Google Drive.
Can everybody see this?
Yes,
Yeah.
good.
Okay.
On YouTube.
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Okay, that one I go and YouTube channel. Then I just share.
Hanlin, 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 do you have your camera?
I set it up, not set it up.
Okay. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna stop first. Okay, let me share again. Okay. We'll just start promptly at 3.
Okay, no worries.
Mr. Muku, have you seen the slides?
Yeah, I can send.
Oh, so you've seen all the slides already, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, so you can just talk. Okay. Okay, it is currently 3, so I'll just say hi to everyone currently watching now. Thank you for coming to Voices of the Unheard, and today we have 2 panelists with us. Firstly, I'm Zizi, and I'm the head of publicity here at Project Integrate, and then we have Han Lin, who's the head of logistics in Project Integrate as well. So today we've actually invited 2 very special panelists, and I think I'll just let them introduce themselves. So Dr. Tan, could you tell us a bit more about your work, your life, what you do?
Hello, good afternoon. Thank you for having me. And hello, Mukul in Bangladesh. Thank you. And I'm a medical doctor. I teach at NUS. In 1996, my family and I went to live and work among the rural communities that live among the hill tribes at the Chinese, Burmese, Vietnamese border. And my module in National University of Singapore is called the Hidden Communities of Singapore, where I have the privilege to bring undergraduates to meet various groups of people in Singapore that we don't usually see. So today I'm very privileged to meet old friend Mukul, whom I first met in the dormitory in Mandai.
Okay, and Mugu, would you like to introduce yourself as well?
Hi, thank you, Mr. Marcus, and thank you, Mr. Tan Lai Yong. My name is MD Mukul Hussain, and I'm one of the migrant worker in Singapore. Also, I'm one of the author called Me, Migrant and Braving Life. Currently, my dad was sick, so last few months ago, I'm just coming back, and now I'm stay at my home in Rangpur. I'm working with Dr. Tan so long at a health sub community clinic as a volunteer. Yeah.
Okay, so just so y'all know, today I think the worker that we've invited here today is actually a very special one. So as he said, he has actually authored the book Me Migrant, which was published back in 2016. And you can actually find the book in Kinokuniya. It's published by Ito's Books. And so Muku actually came to Singapore in 2008 to work in construction. And in case all of y'all didn't know, beforehand, he actually enrolled in the art school as a college student before he came to Singapore. So Mr. Muku here really is a very special worker. And as I've mentioned, he's delved into poetry. And he's one of the first migrant workers to actually ever release a book like this. So I think it's something really special here. Okay, so just to give our audience members an understanding, could you maybe elaborate on how both you, Dr. Tan, and you, Mr. Muku, how have both of you met? And maybe how has the relationship developed? And maybe, yeah, could you elaborate a bit more on that?
Oh, I met because of Project Integrate. So some years ago, I think about maybe almost 6-7 years ago. So Project Integrate, your seniors, they were playing soccer at Mandai Westlight Dormitory. I came out to the canteen to have a cup of tea. Muku was volunteering at the health serve clinic at the dormitory. And so we sat down and had a cup of tea. And I asked him about how he spent his spare time. I expected, we tend to be quite stereotypical. So I expected things like watch movie or go Mustafa or play cricket. Then he said, I write poetry. I was like, oh, really? So that started our friendship because I know nothing about poetry. And so since this worker, he said he wrote poetry, I said, okay, why don't you show me some poetry? That was how our first connection came because the Hwa Chong boys were playing football and I was having a cup of tea.
And Mr. Muku, could you maybe tell us a bit more about maybe from your side as well? How is your relationship with Dr. Tan?
Yeah, I want to share more about it. Actually, when I met Dr. Tan, it was fantastic for me because he's like very interesting to listening from me, and he just be patient and he's just like a good person. I trust him. And when he was going home back, and he just give me his number, and I always text to him, and I send my poetry and he just really appreciate my work. Finally, they just take decision to make my books called Me Migrant, actually Health Up Community Clinic, one of the part to support to me. But Dr. Tan is one of the most person in my life that he just makes something special for me and become my books come true. And finally, I have an employee that's the Mukul. So it was really fantastic for me. And I'm so happy and glad to Dr. Tan because without his support, without health support, without Singaporean support, I cannot be a Mukul today. So, Dr. Tan, I want to give a special thanks to you. Thank you so much for our relationship. I hope we just continue to be our relationship, and you will be one of my moderator in my life. If I do anything, of course, I just share with Mr. Tan, and he just give me always good suggests that really unbelievable for me because he was very busy, I know, but he responds my message, he responds my call, and he always take care of my house. Is that how about you and how your dad and mom? It was really surprise for me.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mukul, for your sharing. Okay, so right now we would like to jump into some of the questions that we prepared for you. So as I think as Dr. Tan and both of you have said, I think that you're definitely not what we call as a stereotypical migrant worker. So before you came to Singapore, you enrolled in an art school as a college student. So can you elaborate a bit more on this chapter in life and how it felt to switch from a college student to being a migrant worker here in Singapore?
Um, Actually, when I was young, 18 years old, and I haven't finished my college, and I feel very sad my one side in my heart. And when I go to the college in Singapore, actually, this is the main right. You want to mention to me this right, this part. Can you tell me again your questions?
Oh yeah, okay, just let me clarify. You were a college student before you came to Singapore as a migrant worker. So can you just talk a bit more about the switch in their lifestyles from being a student to this some of the
Okay.
harder labor work here, right? Yeah. Just share.
So when I live in Bangladesh, I'm a student, and when I leave Bangladesh, that I'm 18 years old. So before that, actually, my life is my family is lower classes, middle classes, but our hoping and the friendship with another peoples and be like happiness on the times and be always like want to do this, do that, going to playground and play and do something special, something like that. But when I was, my dad was take decisions to send to me in Singapore. This is actually no my dad decision. Actually, he just told me, he said, Mukul, you have some different kind of passion. Like I draw painting, I'm trying to write poetry, novel and short stories, and also I'm trying to do a singing. You know, my singing is starting as a my career is starting as a singer, but my papa didn't like. So that's why he just offer me. He say if you want to go Singapore, that you can make your dream fulfill and your dream come true. That time I'm never think that I'm become a migrant and I need to do very hard job in Singapore. Truly. So I feel when my dad offered me and my brother offered me to go Singapore and become a migrant, I feel that Singapore is a very good country. I was reading in a book and it was really fantastic for me. I can earn something and I can make my dream fulfill. But is it totally different when I was rich in Singapore? It's very hard job for me and I really can adjust with this environment actually in a construction sector. But when I finish my work, it's different life. And finally, I want to say it's very difficult for me to starting my work in Singapore, but no choice. That's why I just starting my work. But sometimes, I feel very giddy. Also, I'm fall down on the work side and very difficult for a few months. But after that, slowly recover it. And another one thing I want to share here, when I'm very lonely there, and I feel my family, and I remember my all the friends and my childhood, then become my heart is breathing. And on this time, I'm just trying to starting my writing. And I feel that when I just writing poetry, novel, and short stories, then I reciting them many times, and I feel this is my children. Actually, my poems, I feel that this is my children, and my children with me. That nothing to be happening, something or escape something or very tiring. So I'm just trying to reciting my all poems, and I'm just trying to be strong with my poems. Yeah. Then
Okay,
finally, I just recover my sickness actually. But of course, I just remember and I miss my family always.
okay. So I think at the forum here, I also want to discuss a bit more about your poetry writing here. So could you like tell us what got you into poetry, and maybe like when you're in Singapore, do you what kind of poetry do you write? What do you take some inspiration from, and like uh during what days and what time, and like how did poetry help you get past this time in Singapore?
Um, actually, in Singapore, I just writing me migraine, but I never think that this is my me migraine books called. But when I was reading my writing my poems, actually, different time is different topic. You know, sometimes we going to workplace, work site, and there also have a difficult situation and difficult conditions. You know, sometimes boss was no happy, and you doing very hard. Also, sometimes school and sometimes somebody just injured also nobody want to take care, and sometimes also the salary cases somebody is no happy, and so hard to wake up morning. So include my poems is like my feelings and my I do live alone in Singapore, so I just feel lonely. So including my all poems is become like one of the migrants open his own feelings to every day, and I think all my poems is like a little bit touching to another migrants also. It's the same feelings what I'm trying to write, and one what I'm open to my feelings. That's the same feelings to the another migrant. So when I wrote the poems, I have a topic like I'm very sad. I have a one poems called "I Want to Be a King." So I want to be a king, king of the society. There's the day laborers, king of the laborers, king of the children who just lost her son. It's like something against to the migrants. You know, I'm trying to write something special that Singaporeans read it, and Singaporeans think that we are not a migrant. We also have a something special to say and open our feelings. We also be have our humanity. You know, I just trying to show up all this.
So, Mr. Muku, so your poems are really just, would you say it's a reflection of your life here in Singapore, and how you felt, being a worker, toiling through all these days, and seeing all these things happen, in your life as a worker?
I'm just want to give thanks to my Allah God. He was great to me today, is the Mukul. I never believed that I get this kind of opportunity in my life, and I get quite popularity in my life in Singapore. I'm already told you, right? Without Singaporeans, without HealthServe, without Mr. Eric, without Dr. Tan Lai Yong, today I'm not Mukul, and I have no books. Maybe I don't know. So it's a really surprise from God and Allah. And one thing I always believe, if I'm do honest, that Allah will give me something special in my life. So when I was getting publishing my books, Call Me Migrant, and so many TV channel and newspaper was publishing, my heart breathing my own. You know, I just happy about myself, but inside my heart is cannot take it because it's too much. I never think that I getting too much respect from the people. It was really amazing in my life. I cannot be forget what happiness in my life. Still, I'm so surprised and so happy that I getting more opportunity because you all guys study in a college, you can get a degree and you can get some special. Then your parents just feel that yes, I invest something, that my son was doing something for me. I doing my own part. I'm just trying to do hard work, and I also supporting my family, and I also look after my parents. So it's a really surprise for me that I get something without spend. I just spend my honesty. I just spend my little time, and I just throws my work to audience. That's it. So it was really amazing for me that I get in my life.
Actually, a different way of looking at poetry. For Mukul, it may be a reflection to his life, but that shouldn't be the way how we read it. I think we read it as a window into his life.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Okay,
wait,
so
before we carry on, right? Actually, Muku has a set of slides that he wants to share. I'll screen share it now, and we can even have a poetry sharing session because we have actually included one of his poems in the slides. So let me just share my screen. Okay, can everybody see this?
Yeah.
Okay. So Mr. Muku, you can just talk with the slides.
I'm stay right now. I'm born in Rangpur, Patgram in Bangladesh. I'm 30 years old, and I'm working in Sam for 12 years. It's a long time, and this is my home in Patgram. When last 2016-17 is deflected, my house in a raining. It's very heavy raining. So I create this house. The first picture is when starting, and then I'm trying to painting inside. You can see something me. Then I painting my own. Then second picture is like quite little fulfill in the front. In room we do plastering, but haven't completed yet. Yeah, but we can stay there. I'm trying to writing poetry. Also, I'm doing painting job for poor people in Bangladesh because I want to share a bit here if we have a time. Um, when I was coming back in Bangladesh, and then my dad just told me, say, Mukul, last time when you selling your books, call me migrant, and you want to contribute your money to poor people in our house. And also I'm trying to buy some tree plantation, almost 6,000 tree plantation. I just give to away to the people, guayaba, mango, and jackfruit. And then my dad was told me this time, hey, last time you want to do something, then now this pandemic situation is very bad. Most of the people at home, what are you trying to do something for them? Especially my dad was sick also, but he just told me that then I cannot find any way to helping to people because money issue is very important for me because I just coming Bangladesh last 8th of March and I'm stuck in my home also. Then I feel that what I can do, what I can do. Then finally I get my own decisions. Yeah, I can do some painting. This painting I'm selling in the audience on a Facebook page called Poor People in Bangladesh, painting for poor people in Bangladesh. That's why I'm just trying to do this painting project. And I use the money to poor families. I want to give them a food hamper for 15 days. My target is I want to helping 1,000 families, but I'm already did 418 poor families and for 15 days. Yeah. But it still is ongoing. I selling my painting. So this is the screen in 3 painting. Is the same size. I really love to draw painting the flowers. And this is one of my books collections who really support me too much. And today I getting my names like Mukul because of these books. And most of the people will know me and support to me. I'm already told this book selling money is already going to some people. I buy the plantations from the for the peoples, and we are low classes, but lower or higher it doesn't make sense. I'm just trying to helping to the people. And this is my poetry called Mini Migrant. Is it I reciting or anybody reciting?
How
if
about
you're
handling recite? Me
okay,
migrant.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
my reading. Okay, so this poem, Me Migrant by Mukul Hossein. Me migrant, live overseas, thousand miles away. Me migrant, beyond borders, mislaying smiles, dawn to dusk, then dawn again. Bearing sighs and a cry, inner heart, love, compassion, kindness, lose their meaning. Be careful, no one here and nobody to see and no such pay. Me migrant, live outdoors, outside from you. Okay.
Mr. Mukul, would you like to maybe give an explanation about this poem?
Actually, we are migrants. We are staying overseas. Sometimes, sometimes if you feel sick, happy, just doesn't make sense to the people. Just you need to say, go and work. No need to scold. No need to say something to excuse every day. Blah blah blah. Non-stop. So, I just mentioned these poems about like, we just far away. If you sickness, if you no happy, if you feel very sick, if you feel more unhappy, that nobody want to take care to you. So you just close to your trace on a side, and you just be careful that nobody want to take care to you, and you need to think about yourself, and you need to take care yourself. Nobody want to helping to you. So I mentioned it. Most of the bosses, I can say that, but I just trying to say most of the bosses really love them worker, but some of the supervisor and some of the bosses are really unexpected to respect the migrants. That's why I'm just trying to write these poems. I want to make worry to them, alert to migrant worker that nobody want to take care to you. You just need to take care your own self.
Okay. Thanks for sharing.
Welcome.
So that's why I said these poems are not just a reflection, but it's a window, not a window into Muku's life, but it's a window about our society, especially the last words, outside of you.
Mm.
This outside of you give us some room to reflect. Now, why should we remain outside? Okay. What are the risks? What are the cultural misunderstandings? Uh, what are the economic problems if we have a slightly higher degree of integration? I mean, we are very different. Integration doesn't mean ignore the differences. It means understand the differences and take a few steps forward. And then there are generational issues, age issues, language, culture, status, economy, earning power, uh, interest, music. So many things that can divide us, but it can also be common grounds to learn something new.
Yeah, okay. Then I wanted to ask Dr. Tan, how you came across Muku's poems on talking, and what gave you an idea to get it published for all Singaporeans to see. What was your thought process over that time?
The book, Muku already had a book, and I think through some notable poets in Singapore, Cyril Wong, one of them, they had applied for a cultural funding to publish the book, but it would take 2 years or quite long time. I remember 1 or 2 years. So being more from the just more the private sector part. We think 2 years too long. I'm sure we can find a way of publishing the book. And to my shock, book publishing is very, very low royalties. I think not Muku, but generally book writers earn very little, maybe $1 a book or something like that. So we found some sponsors and put a book out in about 3 months in time for Labor Day. I remember we met in February, and then by Labor Day was already out. So it was an adventure in speeding things up.
So you took the publishing into your own hands instead of going through the competition, is that right?
Not really in my own hands. We got people, volunteers together. Cyril recreated, some people edited. Of course, Ito's book did the layout, and there were volunteers who helped in the book launch. And then Hwa Chong students at that time, Project Integrate helped to be ushers. The book launch was at Parliament House, oh no, Arts, the old
Art
Parliament,
house,
Arts
old
House.
parliament.
Yeah, so people weren't familiar with the place, and so people came together and like somebody sponsored the food. So it was a very good community effort, and in so doing, it was a meaningful process. But it also highlighted the process that 99.9% of the foreign workers in Singapore are not like Muku. Many are illiterate because they didn't have opportunity to go to school. many do not have artistic talents, no literacy talent. So that asks a question. So how do we get to know people from different backgrounds in a meaningful way?
Oh, okay, so just like to ask also, what were initial expectations for like the bookstores? Like, what are some of the things that you thought that Singaporeans would have some, what the Singaporeans feedback would be for your book, and like what was the reception like for the book? Did it exceed some of your expectations? Like,
I'm just quite sad because this history just made me more sad. When my books was publishing and most of the Singaporeans just appreciate about it. And so many newspaper was publishing from different country and different way. And I really can say that because I'm very shy about it for our migrant community. Our community was uh, just insult to me and they just on my behind and want to complain here and complain there to my boss. Actually, I just really did very good and I'm just trying to make proud to our country, Bangladesh. But some of the people just, I don't know, they are uneducated and they are jealous, always behind with me, and they just trying to kill me. Actually, I want to say one topic here. Some of the people, when I'm just getting my popularity, when I getting my success, and some of the Bangladeshi friends are not going to happy because I'm getting more popularity in my life, and so many newspaper was coming, and so many people are appreciate to me and my work. Then first step they want to cut off to me, directly cut off. Like I give you an example. Like when you want to plant some tree plantations, if somebody want to take it out and throw it away, this is very difficult and cannot grow. So first step, some of the people when my book's publishing, then they just complain to my boss, Mukul is this, Mukul is that, Mukul link with the MOM, Ministry of Manpower, because I'm doing volunteering work at HealthServe, also TWC2. So most of the people just know happy to me about my success life, and they just cut off my work permit. First step. Second step, by going to another company, also same thing because most of the people will know me and my face, and they also know who I am and how I did and how I getting my success. And also there also something happening. People just kill me and fire me. Just still I'm just standing and strong because of my honesty. So many people just now Dr. Tan said 99% people are jealous to me. I don't think 99% is almost 80% and 20% is still love me and support me. That's a good person also. So yeah,
Moko,
when
I
my book
didn't,
published in
Moko,
2016,
Moko didn't say they were jealous. I said 99% have literacy problem.
yeah. Oh, I'm
They
sorry.
don't really
I'm
read. They
sorry
don't
to hear.
really write. So we are understanding that the foreign worker population is very, very diversified. Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
so literature is the different things, and somebody going to Singapore to earn money, this is the different thing, right? So my literature, I'm just trying to do from beginning until now. I'm trying to writing, and my journey was fulfilled is a bit. So if people doesn't trying to do something special, doesn't do hard work, doesn't do write poetry, novel, and short story, they also cannot become a poet, become a writers, right? So most of the people jealous about the literacy, and I don't know uh, why they just no happy and jealous to me, and they just want to kill to me. But I'm still more strong. If I have activities, if I have a according knowledge, nobody can stop to me. And honesty is always with me. That's I believe, and I always believe Allah will always with me if I doing good thing. That's why I'm just always trying to do helping migrants worker who just always breeding too much to me, always jealousing to me, always no happy to me. But finally, I just every night forget all this unhappiness. Or I every day forget what people do for me. I'm always trying to do. You see, on this pandemic situation, I getting call from HG Accident Help Center because I'm doing volunteering, and I also getting hotline calls here every day. I'm just calling without HG Accident Help Center. I'm just calling 20%. Every single day, I just doing 20% video call. I spend my own data money. Every day, I'm just trying to do painting for poor people. That's my own money. So if somebody breathing to me, somebody want to cut off to me, somebody want to take it out my success plan, but I still just defense to my Allah, and I always pray to my Allah that give them to understand people and also give me opportunity to stand my life.
Okay, Mr. Mukul, I
Okay.
just want to maybe zone in more on the part about people mistreating you, because I think this is something that not many people see after the release of your book. So, so after you released the book, uh, so you found that a lot of people around you uh, started treating you differently, right?
Not really. When my books is publishing, but before that, I also have some quite popularity because of poems. I going to reciting poems quite many places like Sase, Singapore National University, Nanyang Technology. A lot of places I going to reciting my poems, so people was know me. Number one. Number two, I'm doing volunteer work as a 7 years at a health sub community clinic. Also, there are so many people who will know me. So this is no like first time I do publishing my books that most of the people just know me. People are know me from 2012 because 2012 I doing one short film called Crime Watch, a money changer on 2012. That's from there most of the people will know me, and until 2016 on the between I'm doing volunteering work at health hub at TWC2, and I'm doing organization migrant poetry evening and so many things also.
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much for the sharing and the insight. So I think I also like to move on a bit to also address Dr. Tan about like as Mukul has shared so much today. I think it also gives us and the people watching a lot of new insights that migrant workers don't just fit one stereotypical mold, and like they have many other talents and also some of their own interests. So for I think I also want to I hope Dr. Tan can answer like what with so much experience working with the workers, like what are some of the other specific workers that you've seen that have like this kind of exceptional talent and other things, and like what can we do as Singaporeans and society as a whole to recognize these people to be more than just workers, to recognize their other talents as well.
So we appreciate the workers for their main task. They work very hard in a hot environment, in the dusty, noisy, dirty. They work very hard. So of course, working conditions have evolved, become better. COVID make it look very stark that there are areas that we must improve. So the first thing is their talent is actually, their investment is actually in working hard in a very tough industry. That's number one. Then on the off days, remember that they are ordinary fathers and or husband. Most of them want to do something for their people back home. So their interest is to send money home, feed their families. And over here, I think to a younger section, cricket is very popular, sports is very popular. And in fact, there's a wonderful locally organized inter-foreign worker dormitory cricket tournament. It's on a national scale and very exciting. It goes on for about 3 months every Sunday. The workers train for it. Cricket, a lot of cricket training is thinking, discussing, and they plan for it, strategize for it. And yeah, it's a pity that this year there won't be the cricket tournament, but I think maybe next year can resume earlier. So what's our role? Our role is to cheer them on. When they play cricket, learn again. Learn cricket is a thinking game. It's all of us should be learning about the the depth of this game, the history of this game, and then just join in to admire how they play. I mean, just like we go and watch a tennis match when most of us never play tennis. So cheer them on. That's what we can do.
Okay, and then I think to Dr. Tan again. Um, so Dr. Tan, you've really worked with workers for a decently long time now, and like in terms of I think back then a few years, you went to Mandai dormitory to kind of set up a clinic there, and then just recently, actually this year, um, during the pandemic, I believe you actually set up a kind of curriculum for the workers who were resting at NUS, if I'm not wrong. And then I think the curriculum consisted of injuries and back care, financial literacy, phone scams, mental health and anxiety. And then you also worked with a lot of, I presume you worked with a lot of NUS students on this as well. So maybe could you just elaborate a bit more on maybe your experiences with the COVID pandemic, because you're directly involved in this
Yeah,
sense.
about 1,500 workers who are recovering from working COVID went to stay at NUS dormitory. But it's a team effort, it's not my effort. So several profs, many students, and then sports instructors, they came together to plan a program. Then you realize how challenging it was because they were workers from Myanmar, India, Malaysia, China. How do you plan the program? It's just like planning, just imagine your school orientation camp, right? Planning for uh, workers of different age. Some of them are 50 years old, some of them are 22 years old. Different languages, different background. So I just been here for 3 months, so not sure what's going on. Somebody here for 10 years. So, and then there was this all challenge of that we can only do it on social media, Zoom, WhatsApp, WeChat. So everything you put out, you have to put out in many layers. So in the end, I thought it was a very good learning experience for us. The most popular thing was haircut because the men were in quarantine for 14 days, 21 days, 30 days, and there was no haircut. And there are two ways to solve the haircutting problem. Uh, One is the usual way that we go and find barber. Right? And then at that time, circuit breaker, hard to find a barber who can travel and who can go into the dorm. What's the other way? Some people found a very good way. And again, as Singaporeans, we are quite sheltered. We are not innovative. Somebody just bought 5 electric shavers and pass it on to them. And they cut each other's hair. And that was a very good way because then it can help. There's no issues about outsiders going in, wearing PPE and visors and masks and wear gloves because they were all inside together. They all had COVID and they were all recovering and they could cut each other's hair. And then, of course, then there's also the idea that many of our local people, our hair is straight and straight hair very easy to cut. Many from Bangladesh and Tamils, their hair very, very curly. Curly hair takes a different kind of skill, right? You cannot just, yeah. But they know each other well, they can cut it. And I thought there was a better way rather than always providing resources. So I learned that going ahead post-COVID, some things need to happen. We need to set up platforms where the workers take care of themselves better. Yes, we need to take care of them, we need to chip in, but really the best way of taking care for them is that they can take care of themselves better. And one way is cooking. So in future, if they can cook their own healthy meals. Right now, we always complain that, oh, the catered meals are not healthy. Let me tell you, even they cook their own meals, can be high salt, high fat, also not so healthy, right? So how do we empower and encourage them to take care of their own health? So one way is cooking, right? Mental health is very important. Can we provide counseling? Oh, the numbers and the language, culture. I'm not sure whether we, the Singaporeans who don't speak their language, can provide counseling. You got to find ways where they do peer counseling. That's how I met Mukul because he was volunteering in a health service clinic. So if I have some Tamil person, a foreign worker who has diabetes, I really can't explain so much, about diet and medication and sugar. But I can need to find ways where we empower 5 of the more seasoned workers to be their guide in how to have a healthier diet. So that's the way forward that we allow them to set up good platforms, meaningful platforms, empower them, engage them to take care of themselves and help them with the resources to do it.
Dr. Tan, I think to overcome the language barrier as well,
Huh?
I think if I'm not wrong, one of your students also actually created some kind of portal or an app for the healthcare workers in this
Yes.
case
Mhm.
to actually communicate with the migrant workers through their app, which offered translations. Uh, are you in close contact with this student? If not, you could tell us more about this as well, because
Yes,
I
there
think
was
it's
a
quite
young
interesting.
lady doctor, Dr. Suds. You can Google her. She uh, used skills in coding, in medicine, and made quite a very useful app for other doctors to, on the spot, can exchange information and talk to workers. Because going through translators, then translator have to come again, wear the PPE, wear the mask. So technology does help. So that's one way of empowering. And you should find the link, Google it, and send it to others. Another way that we help is, I mean, many of the things we should do pre-emergency. Preparation is so important. So if you remember Project Integrate, there was 1 year, one time where Project Integrate volunteers and migrant worker volunteers went to volunteer together at St. Luke's Hospital. And that's the kind of going forward that we mean. Recently, again, if you Google Tampines Town Council, the Town Council with migrant workers and SG accident care community volunteers, they went around clearing the area of dengue, potential dengue breeding sites. What do we know about dengue? We are not the experts, but we can learn. And then the foreign workers and the local community, we walk through the areas because the dengue mosquito don't differentiate race, religion, color, nationality. They want to bite, they bite. So this is one useful thing we do together, where instead of always thinking about what can I give you, goodie bag, and this, we volunteer together. Say your school is such a big grounds, right? Yes, most of the time we rely on NEA and the professionals to get rid of the mosquitoes. One way is to think, hey, during uh, COVID times, there wasn't really enough workers. How can we volunteer to take care of things that we should take care of ourselves? So taking ownership of our problems instead of the usual problem way in Singapore is you see a problem, write a letter, call up somebody, give a complaint. Seldom do we think that, oh, we see a problem, let's solve it ourselves, let's do it something. Uh, so it's the whole migrant worker issue shows us that we need to take ownership of our own community problems.
Okay,
Okay.
sure, Hanan, you can go ahead this one.
Okay, so I think to Mr. Since Dr. Tan talked so much about how Singaporeans have been able to should be empowering migrant workers. So I think from a migrant worker standpoint, have you seen have you specifically noticed ways in which Singaporeans have helped you that has really benefited you and your community?
Sorry, I lost you. Can you say that again?
Yeah, so is I think as a migrant worker, from his perspective, what are some of the what do you think is some of the better ways that Singaporeans are able to empower them, and from personal experience, how some simple things from Singaporeans are able to positively impact them and empower themselves to help each other out.
I think to be fair, with my experience of working in migrant workers, Singapore has improved and is a fair host to the many hundreds of thousands of migrant workers in Singapore. It's like a bell curve, right? So at one end, I have met employers who really took care of their foreign workers. The foreign workers who got married, they even fly over and join the wedding. We have such excellent employers. On the other hand, we also have very bad employers. It's true of people employing foreign workers. It's true of employing employing Singaporeans. So there's a spectrum. So on one hand, we need to up our standards of being a good employer. It's complex because many projects are subcontracted out. So once it's subcontracted out, it seems to be out of my hands. So I think going forward, we need to have ideas of who you subcontract to, how do they take care of their workers. For example, 30 years ago, when big companies did their annual reports, they didn't have environmental issues, they didn't have sustainability issues, and there wasn't need to have a corporate social responsibility page. So then people lobby and work and society changed. So now it is standard for any big companies. When they put out the annual report, you have a page on corporate social responsibility, environmental responsibility, family care, work-life balance. All this is growth as we mature. So maybe 10 years from now, our companies, when they put on the report, they also have a page where this is our employment policy, subcontracting policy of foreign workers. This is how we see them as valuable contributors. So this is a big picture. So jump to the other extreme. What can we do as ordinary people, right? Share a dinner together. I mean, if you are shy or you're not sure of their dietary habit, to bring them to your house. I mean, my house, maybe I'm not sure what time. Maybe my mother goes to bed at 7 o'clock. They come too late. Share a meal together, a barbecue at the beach. A meal at a hawker center. You don't have to entertain people. We need to engage people. You don't have to always, I buy you 10-course dinner. And that's not sustainable. I mean, how many of us go for that? I just go to a hawker center and have a plate of chai fan or nasi padang, right? And a drink, cost us $5. So that is kind of a thing that we need to think as going forward. Okay. And so there are new ideas and we learn how to, as long as we keep an open mind and we understand there are limits to culture, and then we can inch forward. It will be 3 steps forwards, 2 steps backward. We'll do some things rightly and do some things wrongly, right? And like I always say, we learn from failures.
Mr.
Okay, I
Mukul,
think
do you have any thoughts on this, on how we can also, I mean, from a migrant worker standpoint, maybe how you can, what Dr. Tan has mentioned on promoting these kind of interactions between Singaporeans and workers. For example, what he said, sharing a meal, barbecue at the beach. So, do you have any thoughts on this issue?
okay, I just like to add on a bit first. So I think Dr. Tan said something about how Singaporeans, our whole mindset has improved over the past over time now. So I think I want to follow up a bit on, I think, to both Dr. Tan and Mukul lah. So I think as Mukul, you worked here from 2008 all the way. So over this period of time, have you noticed any similar change in how the locals' mindsets are towards migrant workers? And maybe perhaps also you would tell us about one big area of improvement that the workers, that means that the locals still need to work towards to ensure a more inclusive and more happy society for all of us.
Mr. Mukul, you're muted. You're muted.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
okay.
From beginning until now, I'm just see one thing. Singapore is totally changed. In fact, everything is what changed for migrant community. Last time is safety. Actually, safety was very no much important last few years ago. But now the changing is the migrant community and Singapore MOM just trying to take good actions. Is from my side. And last time we have I starting my writing journey on 2009. From there, most of the people are no interesting much to listening migrants' voices and no interesting to helping to migrants. I never seen before like 2009, 200, no, 20110 or something like that. But when it's like 20013, then I see most of the communication with the Singaporeans to migrants. For me also, I see so many people are coming to volunteer work, and they also make happy and make them share them pain on them heart. So it was totally changed right now. Last time nobody was going to dormitory and look after to the migrants what they're trying to do. But on this situation and before also, most of the dormitory was visiting some of the Singaporeans because of some what's the call organizations such as Health AG Accident Center, Help Center, PWC2, most of the things. So, and in other parties, last time and now is totally different because the world is changed. Most of the friends, most of the people just using them phone and very fast getting upgrade and newses. So it's quite good for our migrant community also, and it's really like very helpful for the migrants also when some of the Singaporeans coming over them and talk to them. And I want to share a bit about the mental support. Now most of the people suffering about these cases, and I'm every day getting minimum 20 video calls. I just calling some of the friends from different areas. All of the people is from Bangladesh, but is different areas. So what I say them, I just make them little strong. Now they're very stressed, and after this pandemic, I don't know, somebody was ready to come back Bangladesh, but they have no job here, and also be something are happening. So what I say, I just request to all of the Singaporeans who just watching this video, please, if you have time, you just recognize or just going to some organizations and going to dormitory, or you see some of the migrant worker outside, how much you can respect, how much you can appreciate them. You just little bit appreciate and make them smile, like say something, hello, what are you doing, something like that is very helpful for the people. Because we just now I just told about me migrant, actually nobody there, if you think, if Singaporean think this is migrants means we are nobody, we just no use. But if you feel like this is our children, this is our community builder, this is our house builder, then they can be respect and good appreciate also. So my request is to all of the Singaporeans who just watching this video, please little bit appreciate the migrant, because migrant also be supporting to you and build Singapore.
Okay, and to elaborate, I think what Mr. Mukul said has been is actually quite consistent with what we've actually discovered as Project Integrate from talks with various industry leaders. For example, the director of SG Accident Help Center, he himself has said that throughout the years, support for migrant workers has actually gotten better, and the situation is improving, and more people are being aware, and more people are willing to help. So, and I think what Mr. Mukul is saying is very true, and also pertaining to more interaction. And I think from our talks with Xia Cheng, Mr. Xia, who is the director of business executive of Migrant X Me, he himself also has said that it's good for Singaporeans to just engage in everyday talk. And it doesn't need to be a long drawn out conversation. It can just be a 5 minute, hello with your local worker that you see. And I think that can really help to create a more inclusive society. Okay, now it's 3:53, so we're gonna end the forum soon. So I will ask uh, both of you one question, and then we can end off the forum. Okay, so to Dr. Tan, so after so many years of working the ground with migrant workers, you've accumulated quite a lot of experiences relating to them. So could you just draw from your knowledge and maybe impart some kind of a kind of value or piece of knowledge that you would like to say to the students watching this stream right now?
Thank you for this effort to come together to learn. I think as students, I always think of as a student is about learning, and the learning about knowledge and also learning about character formation. Uh, in the end, well, we need to be good in what we do, IT, music, in healthcare, in business. We need to know who we are, but we also need to grow our characters of empathy, of community integration. So just volunteering, whether you are volunteering migrant workers or volunteering with cleaning beaches, it does bring us together to grow characters. So this is integrating our studies and our society. So thank you for this.
Okay, and for Mr. Muku, this is a question just for you. So, so you have published all these books like Be Migrant and Braving Life. So clearly, it really distinguishes you from all the other migrant workers out there. So I just want to ask, what would you say uh, to all the other migrant workers who also want to do something like beyond manual labor, like beyond their job, and to explore their own interests and to make a voice for themselves? What would you say to these migrant workers?
Um, so actually, this is not my advice. I just say that um, now the situation and before the situation is totally different. So what you need to do, I want to give advice to all of the migrants friend who just watching my video. So first info, you just need to follow your regulations, what company was provide to you. This is the first step. And second step, what Ministry of Manpower was give you the induction, you need to follow up. Because if you want to do something wrong, then most of the people was suffering about these cases. And another part, starting my writing journey, my music journey, and my painting journey is starting until when I was younger. So if you like to write poetry, novel, and short stories, most of the friends are in sample like such Jakir, Moni, Sobu, Liton, Story. So many people are there. Still, they're trying to build our migrant community, literature community. So you no need to ignore, you no need to jealous about what people trying to do. You, if you want have a talented, if you have a good talented, you can communication with them. If you such good singer, you can go migrant band. You as a good writer, you can go to some of the migrants friend who just wrote before. You don't need to say jealous, and you don't need to throw shit to some of the people who doing good things in Singapore. So what I say, we need to be doing together as a part. Like one person settles some way, you no need to complain. Say, hey, Mukul do many things, good thing, because Mukul was doing so hard, and Mukul always trying to do something special. That's why he just get it. So on behave to you, you trying to learn something from the another people. If somebody was getting success because of his hard work and his good activities, that's why. So my request is, if you want, if you have any talented, if you have good things anyway, you just try to focus your own. No need to jealous to another person, and no need to kill to another person. You just show up your activities, that's God will give you something. Yeah. Easy, I'm through, Dr. Tan.
Yeah, I think is we want to do our best. We always want to do our best, and then we do our best so that the person beside you can also do his or her best.
Yeah, this is, I believe, if I have a honesty, if I doing very hard job, if I have a activities, if I have a creativity, this Allah or God will give for me and provide to me. No need to see another person what he built. Even the elephant too many eating, but the sheet also too much. I cannot say that I want to eating too much because I have no capacity. Only elephant can do it. So every single person who watching this video, I just request to you, whatever, how much you can, you just trying to do best thing on your own, and slowly you can grow up. You cannot jumping to the 10 floors, 20 floors one time. You need to be carry on slowly, and step by step.
Okay,
Thank you.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but I have to go.
Okay,
Thank
Yeah.
okay,
you.
Thanks
okay,
for
Dr. Tan.
yeah.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you for coming to our forum.
Yeah.
Nice to
Thanks
see
to
you,
everyone who came to
Mukul.
our
Thanks for
forum.
showing pictures of your drawing and your house.
Yep,
Yeah.
thank you to
Thanks,
both
Buku, for
panelists.
Yeah,
coming.
we hope you will be able to establish a career in Bangladesh. Because it's, I think if you come here, then you have to pay the agency fee. It's just too much in this economic situation now.
But I'm hoping still to going Singapore and work. And I'm trying to starting my own cow farm.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to fundraise first, and we just discussed with my family, my dad and me. If possible, we just trying to make a cow farm. If really impossible, Singapore is big cool down and take the worker. My boss want to hire me again. He just promised to me, and hope to see
Hope
you
the
there.
best, but I'm not so sure. I think the economy like this stay down for 2 years, and I don't see. You see, but the problem is when the economy go down, the agency fee go up because demand and supply. So I would advise much caution about coming to Singapore to work because I'm quite sure the dormitory fee will go up because worker now will stay in better dormitory. And I think, yes, government pays some, employer pays some, but worker will have to pay some. It's just economics. So then with very strict rules about rest day, I think overtime will be less. So everything will slow down, construction will slow down, and overtime less, higher expenses, higher agency fee. I think have to think very carefully before coming over. But okay, thank you very much for
Okay.
organizing. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you,
We,
Dr.
we
Tan.
hope to
Yeah,
see
thank you.
Mukul in Singapore soon.
No, I hope not. Frankly.
Late.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye
Bye
bye,
bye
Dr.
bye
Bye
bye.
bye. Okay, thank
I
you,
think just
Mukul, for
end
coming
it
as
now.
well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much for
Thank you
inviting
everyone
me.
Yeah,
for
thank
coming.
you. Thank you.
Yeah.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Bye-bye.
All right, thank
Bye
you.
bye. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.